Okay, hey guys, Cliff again, Curry Custom Cutlery. This is a quick restoration on this knife right here. It says molybden Susin Inox 180. I may have just butchered that name altogether. It's a thin knife. It's Japanese style. I'm gonna guess it's got some high carbon in it based on the rust. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take it through. The owner likes a 30-70 edge. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do a Scotch-Brite belt to remove some of the pitting and scratch and that. And then we're going to go for this is going to redo the apex and do the angles. This is going to do the actual sharpening. This will be the refinement of that apex bevel. And then the final will be a stropping step with a really worn in nice leather strop. This is a very fairly aggressive Scotch-Brite belt. These are really nice chewy ones. They'll pull a lot of that rust out. It won't take the deep pitting out, but it will buff and polish at the same time. I'm going to crank it up a little bit too. Give it a couple passes and we'll check it. So already looking pretty good. Still got some faint pitting. I'm going to keep hitting it and see if we can't get that to go out. Okay, just finishing up the first step, the Scotch-Brite step. I've got most of the pitting out. Got a nice scratch pattern developed. I'm just going to hit the bolsters real quick as well. Low speed, doesn't need anything crazy. I'm going to make sure I don't hit the wood. I'm just going to come in at a nice sort of angle and give it a gentle roll. And that should polish up my bolsters right there. You see a little bit of corrosion right there on there. I'll go ahead and that should clean that up as well. Hopefully that'll show up on the camera. Okay, I'm gonna pause real quick and then I'll change belts and we'll be right back. So this is a 120 grit ceramic belt. We're gonna just use very light pressure. You can see hopefully if we come in close, there is some chipping. This has got basically a 0 bevel on it, 0 degree bevel. I'm just going to put a small micro bevel up on top and remove that damaged steel, and we'll form a new apex secondary bevel and get that sharpened up. Here we go. Okay, our belt's drifting off. Okay, here we go. Real light. I'm going to go ahead and bring this right over the top too so it'll reflect down. I always like to work with a light directly over top. And I don't know if you can see, if we zoom in, if there's some of the damage the way it came. And we're just erasing that damage. We don't have a tip right here. We're going to go ahead and I'll go 1, 2, 3. And then we'll come to the other side. You can still see that damage along that tip, along the edge. Basically got rid of that. It was very light pressure. And then 1, 2, 3. So that's the damage removed. So almost got the damage removed. This is requested to me to be a 70-30 edge, and there's a couple different ways about 70-30s if you change the angles or if you just move the center line over. Since I'm using an angle guide, we're just going to move the center line over. Basically, I'm going to do 2/3 of the sharpening on one side and 1/3 on the other. It's going to offset the bevel sizes. This is a lefty, so we're going to do the 30 on this side, and then I'll do twice as many on this side. I'm just going to do one pass on each side. I know, that's a lot. So here we go. Here's one pass on this side. Still just removing a little bit of damage, but now we have our needle point tip. And then I'll finish with a lefty with 2/3 on this side. So we'll go 1, and then I'll just go back. And that should offset it. So the bevel's bigger on this side, smaller on this side. And then we'll go ahead and I'll swap out. Give me a second. Okay, this is the refinement step. This is a structured abrasive. And we're going to run it again at slow speed so it doesn't overheat the belt, or the belt doesn't overheat the blade. And same thing, I'm going to do 1 pass on the back side, 2 passes on the front side. And I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up. I can actually see it cleaning up that apex. And 2. And I'll go back once slightly. And I'll go 2 on this side. 1 and 2. You see one tiny little spot right up here. Go ahead and bring it back from your side. Very light pass. This abrasive is not going to remove a lot of material. What we're doing is basically we have that edge, the apexes come together, and I'm just playing around right up at the top, making sure that we got all the damage removed and we got it exactly how we want it, which is just a little bit on this back side. And then we're going to go once, twice with a little more pressure. And I'll show the camera here. Hopefully it'll show. Let me turn that off. So this is the larger bevel on that side and the smaller bevel on that side. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do the stropping step and we're all done. Okay, final step, leather belt. White compound, it really doesn't matter, white, green. I don't recommend red, it's a little too soft. White compound, I like it, doesn't seem to leave as much residue as the green does. And then I'm just going to do, now the belt's going that way, so we always go edge trailing with a leather or felt belt. You never want to go into it. That's a dangerous thing to do. Very light pass. Not hardly any pressure at all. I just want the belt and that rubbing compound to pull any loose material off. And if this is what the apex looked like, we're just kind of bringing it all together. We're keeping the tooth, but we're basically pulling it all together into one nice, very tight edge. And depending on if they want it a slicey or for chopping, if they're doing more chopping than anything, you can do a more of a polished edge. Okay, final thing. So here's phone book paper. There we go. Okay, that was funny because just as I was doing the final cut test, the guy was pulling up the driveway to come and pick it up. Thanks you guys for letting me share that with you today. If you do get a chance, go out and visit our new website, currycustomcutlery.com. We have belts available in stock. We have ceramic, Cubitron, zirconia, and a large selection of Trizac belts for the 1x30, for the 2x36, and we even have some ceramics for the 2x48 belt sanders. Of course, primarily it's the 1x30s. The previous video I did was a review on the 1x30 Rikon variable speed, the VS161. We have other units available. They'll be being showcased in future videos. Appreciate everybody watching and have a great day. Aloha.